Welcome back, sports fans. In this final segment, I'm going to share my predictions with all of you for tomorrow's game. And I will have a closing comment or two before we wrap this episode up. Lions have had a tough time winning in Wisconsin, as a lot of us know. They've only won 4 of their last 30 games there. They should have won last year. However, the referees took it away from them. That would have been their 3rd consecutive win against the Packers there. And again, had the officials not taken that game away from them, the outcome of both teams' seasons might have been different, because I look at that as being the key game last year. Things have changed a little bit since that time. I don't believe the Lions are as good, and they're younger. And the Packers are probably going to be better offensively and ought to be under now second-year head coach Matt LaFleur. So while Aaron Rodgers struggled a little bit with the offense last year, especially at the start of the season when the Lions played the Packers at Lambeau Field, I think now he's more knowledgeable, he's more comfortable with Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur is more comfortable with him. I also don't believe anything regarding the drafting of Jordan Love is going to be an impact for the Packers, at least during tomorrow's game and perhaps throughout the season. From the Lions' standpoint, I like the fact that Matt Stafford has thrown for more yards against the Packers than anybody. I think that's huge. Unfortunately, he didn't have a touchdown pass last year, and the Packers' defense wasn't that good. If the Packers' defense is better this year, and it's still early in the season to be able to make that determination, based on last week, they may not be. It's going to be interesting. Matt Stafford needs to have a big game tomorrow, not just for the Lions to win, but to show that he's back, for sure. So if that hadn't been said, unfortunately, I said last week that without Kenny Golladay, the Lions were not going to win. And they don't have Kenny Golladay this week, and even if they did, I don't think they're going to win this game. I just don't see theoretically how they could, unless they rush for 250 yards, which I'm not sure they're going to be able to do. They obviously do need to run the football, and they definitely need to control the clock. My concern is, as good as Aaron Rodgers is that the Lions could hold the ball for nearly 40 minutes, and the Packers could still win the game. So it's not as much of an issue in this game, I believe, as it was last week against the Bears. With that having been said, if the Lions do manage to control the clock and they can contain Aaron Rodgers somehow, they may have a chance. But they're going to have to play a nearly perfect game in order to do it, even without fans in the stands. So then the question remains, do I see the Lions getting past 30 points? Since I've already said the Packers are going to score at least that many tomorrow? The answer to that is, without Kenny Golladay, unfortunately, no. They have 2 offensive linemen. Well, they have one that's out for sure. They have another, well, actually, they do have 2 with Hunter Bryant being out. But when there are question marks about Mr. Vaitai and his health, and even if he does play, who knows what he's going to be like for the Lions. I mean, I don't know how well he knows the playbook. I don't know how much can realistically be expected of him. In the run game, I would say more, but I just don't see it as being enough. So unfortunately, while this is a game the Lions need to win, I've already said they're not going to make the playoffs this season. And hence, with it being a more important game to the Packers, unfortunately, as much as the Lions cannot afford to go 0-2 to start the season, much less in the division, I just don't see it happening for the Lions tomorrow. And that will do it for another episode of the Detroit Lions tomorrow. Stay tuned for U.S. Open updates on Ed's Sports Channel. This is Ed Moss signing off. Take care and have a good day. Drive safely if you're on the road, and goodbye for now.